Hey guys, welcome to the Game Damon channel. I am Damon, and today we're going to be playing some NBA 2k26 MyEras. I love this mode every year. It's always so fun to sort of rewrite NBA history, and today we're going to be starting in the 1983 season. There we go. There you are. No, I think it's always fun every year to sort of see how the game works and to sort of just, re-simulate NBA history. I'm using the default 2K rosters. The only changes that I've made is if you go into any sort of player and you go to their attributes. I have made all the intangibles 25. What this does, if you don't know, intangible stat in 2K basically just artificially inflates or deflates a player's rating. I've just set it all to 25, so that way if we go to sort of all the players in the league and we scroll to intangibles, it's all 25. What this does is it basically evens the playing field, and the overall number that you see is just the pure sort of aggregation of all the stats. So if we look at the league as a whole, let me scroll back over here to overall. What that's done to the league overall is there's only 4 players above 90 overall. You have Magic Johnson, a 24-year-old Magic Johnson, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar at 92, as is Moses Malone, and Larry Bird. Of course, being the Bird and Magic era. We're going to see a lot of Celtics Lakers early on in this simulation. Actually, why don't we just go into the teams as a whole? So the 76ers, obviously, they have Moses Malone. We also have Julius Erving in here, sort of at the twilight of his career. Let me do this. There we go. Sort of at the twilight of his career, but still a very effective player. The rest of the team still pretty solid. Mo Cheeks and Bobby Jones, great defensive players, so they're definitely a team to watch out for in the East in this opening year. We move over to the Bucks, who have maybe the best defender in the league at this point, in Sidney Moncrief. Again, it's a very solid roster. Don't know if they'll be a big of a threat in the playoffs, but one of the better teams overall. The Bullets are led by Jeff Ruland, and they have a rookie Jeff Malone as well. As you see, not a great team. One player over 76 overall, so we should be expecting them to be in the mix for one of the big prospects in the 1984 NBA draft. Speaking of, here are the Bulls. Not a single player is over 80 overall, so maybe Camden is right. Maybe MJ ends up in Chicago. Their rookie is Ennis Wally, so we'll see. We'll see if not LeBron, if MJ joins them, just like they did in real life. Moving over to the Cavaliers, they're a young team compared to a lot of the other teams that we're going to see, led by World B. Free and Cliff Robinson. The Celtics, if I had to pick, this is going to be the team that makes it to the NBA Finals out of the East. You have Larry Bird in his prime, Robert Parrish sort of at his peak, defensive-minded player in Kevin McHale, Dennis Johnson. This is a very solid team. I don't know if any other team in the East can really compete with them. We have the San Diego Clippers. I believe their last year in San Diego. They're led by Terry Cummings, Norm Nixon, Bill Walton. Pretty solid team as well. You have the Atlanta Hawks led by Dominique Wilkins in, I believe, his second year. He's always so good in this game. He's such a consistent scorer. They also have a rookie, Doc Rivers. So, Hawks not great, but definitely built for the future with those two. The Utah Jazz are, I would say, the second best team in the Western Conference. They have a very solid group of starters with Adrian Dantley, Ricky Green, Darrell Griffith, Thurl Bailey, who I believe is a rookie as well. Yes, he is. And Mark Eaton. They can compete with anyone. I've seen in the past they've sort of dethroned the Lakers early on. We'll see if that comes to fruition here. The Kansas City Kings, not the Sacramento Kings. Not a good roster at all. These should also be in contention for the #1 overall pick this year. The Knicks with Bernard King and Bill Cartwright and a rookie Darrell Walker. Bernard King really the one to look out for. Probably maybe the best scorer of this era, you could say, coming off back-to-back. Well, actually 3 straight 20-plus point scoring seasons. So I don't know if they're going to be a great team, but Bernard King is definitely going to be up there when it comes to the All NBA voting at the end of the year. We touched on the Lakers already. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar and Magic Johnson, the best 1-2 duo, maybe in league history, but they're in their prime here. They also have Jamal Wilkes, Michael Cooper, Bob McAdoo's old self, second year of James Worthy, and rookie year of Byron Scott. So this is going to be a team that dominates this simulation for maybe the next decade or so. The Dallas Mavericks are, if you don't know, they have a stash of draft picks. I forget how many it is, but they've traded for maybe 2 or 3 additional picks that always end up in the lottery. So this is one to look out for in the future. A nice young team. They have Mark Aguirre entering his 3rd year. He's a beast in these. So they also have Derek Harper and Dale Ellis. So a lot of young talent here, and they're going to be adding even more. With the Nets, they're a very strong team. Otis Birdsong, Buck Williams, Daryl Dawkins, rest in peace. I think he died. If not, that's very awkward then. Um, you know, they're just a middle of the pack Eastern Conference team. My personal favorite team. So we'll see how they end up. Denver Nuggets, the highest point per game scorer of the 1980s, Alex English. They also have Kiki Vandeweghe and Dan Issel. This is a team that usually falls off after the first 2 years or so, but I mean, again, best scorer in the league. Like, look at those stats. Like he's good. He's very good. So, Nuggets are good hands. Indiana Pacers, Clark Kellogg. Yes, that Clark Kellogg, the college Hall of Famer, I believe, turned 2K announcer. He was in the NBA, and I mean, his rookie year, he had 20 points and 11 rebounds a game. And injuries derailed his career, of course, but hopefully we can sort of see a full 10, 15 years of Clark Kellogg at his peak. They also have Herb Williams. The rest of the roster is not great, but um, it is what it is. What might be the biggest threat to the Celtics in the Eastern Conference is in Detroit. We have Isaiah Thomas in his 3rd year, along with Kelly Tripucka, Bill Laimbeer, just a bunch of those bad boys Pistons sort of in their infancy. They're still a very young team compared to others around them in the league, so they're one to watch out for in development. The best rookie this year is Ralph Sampson, the 7'4" behemoth from Virginia. Um, he's really the only good player in this Rockets team. He's going to put up some crazy numbers, and then I've seen them go out and draft Akeem Olajuwon like they did in real life and both stay healthy. So um, they're going to be bad this year, but in the next 2 years, really watch out for this Rockets team. The San Antonio Spurs, the Iceman, George Gervin, look at those numbers. Wow. Um, Again, this is an older team. These guys, they're all mid-70s overall. It's really the 2 old heads of George Gervin and Artis Gilmore leading the way here. Phoenix Suns, Walter Davis, Maurice Lucas, Larry Nance, Alvin Adams, you know, decent team, middle of the pack. Seattle Supersonics, Jack Sikma is their best player in center. Tom Chambers, who I believe won an NBA dunk contest one year. I could be wrong about that. And then David Thompson, who of course is owner of a 71-point game when he was on the Nuggets, I believe, back in the day. 2 more teams to go. We have the Portland Trail Blazers, who they have a solid team, but you're probably seeing here Clyde Drexler is a rookie. Um, him and Ralph Sampson will battle it out for Rookie of the Year honors, but this is the future of the franchise right here. And then lastly, again, we only have 23 teams in the league because this is 1983. Expansion is going to come in maybe 5 or so years. So the last team we're going to touch upon here is the Golden State Warriors, led by Purvis Short, Joe Barry Carroll, Mickey Johnson, Sleepy Floyd. Again, a very solid, well-rounded team. Don't really know how they do in simulation, so we're going to find out. I touched upon this before, but the 1984 draft is one of the best of all time. And shout out to, I don't know if it's an Xbox or a PlayStation user, but trillydagoat has been making some really great historical draft classes. The 2K generated draft classes, they're alright. They don't have rights to some players, so there's a lot of auto-generated guys that are sort of breaking into the top 10 when they should be, Hall of Famers, and we're going to see an instance of that here. So yeah, let's take a look at this draft class. Michael Jeffrey Jordan, the crown jewel of this draft class. He's ranked third by Sporting News. Um, Projected to go third overall. I'm sure you see who's underneath him. It's Charles Barkley. That face scan's for him not being in the game. That face scan's pretty good. So again, just shout out trillydagoat. Like this is just so cool to see all these names in here. Akeem Olajuwon. The H is still to come in about a decade or so. And John Stockton. So a big four. You can even say big five because remember Sam Bowie was supposed to be all that before he got injured. So a big four draft class, and the lottery at this point in time, I believe is a coin flip between the two worst teams or the worst team from each conference. Um, so the lottery's only two teams. So who's gonna get one of these players, man? It's gonna be a tankathon for sure. Other key players include Sam Bowie, Otis Thorpe, Jerome Kersey, Sam Perkins, Alvin Robertson. Again, these are all real players. You see like Michael Cage, Bob Thornton, Terrence Stansbury, Kevin Willett. Like this is a pretty deep draft class. Oscar Schmidt, the Brazilian goat. That's what I love about sort of the 2K community and specifically people that make draft classes is, you see like if you go into like Basketball Reference and you see the drafts. I think at this point in time there's maybe 3 or 4 rounds, so there's a lot of players drafted. And these people go back and they do their research and they add them to the game. It's really fun to see. And what you're going to see if I just sort of scroll down quickly here, these are real people here, and then it's a steep fall off until like the sort of F-rated players. Um, Last time shouting out Trilly the Goat, he goes in, and anyone that's not a real player, he makes a literal 25 overall. Well, 40 overall, 25 in every stat. And what that does is they don't get drafted unless there's like less than 60 players or whatever. Um, and then they just sort of fall out of the league. So we should have a league of just real life players, which I think is just it's awesome. That's all I'm really trying to do here is get a realistic, well, as realistic as 2K will allow, re-simulation of the NBA. So, again, the people that are in the community that make these draft classes, more power to them. I tried to find one that had an authentic roster from this time period, but and they do exist out there. But I tried a few, and yeah, you have some players like the 76ers have this guy Andrew Toney who um, was a multiple-time All-Star, and I think he was even on the team that won the ring in 1982-83. Um, but there's something about the simulation of the game where when I imported a real roster in and sort of went a few seasons into the future, the contracts would get all wonky. There would be like 80 overall plus players in free agency every single year. So trying to avoid that situation, and the best way to do that is just to have a 2K roster. Speaking about like the sort of contracts, I'll sort of walk you through the settings that we have for the simulation. That stuff's irrelevant. I haven't really played too much with this. It's a new feature in NBA 2K26. Um, Faster but less precise, or slower but more in depth. I'm gonna go with the slower, more in depth. Like you'll sort of see how I'm sort of structuring these episodes in the series. Is that I'm gonna try and get into Gamecast and show some gameplay from the eras between the best teams. So I'm simulating slower anyway. I'm not just like zooming through seasons all at once. So I'm interested to see what that does. Fatigue is on, but chemistry isn't. There's just no need for it. I think what we're doing. I wanted to keep injuries in and not just have like everyone plays 82 games every year. I think that it's more interesting and you can generate more storylines when you have injuries. That being said, it doesn't show up here, but in the initial, I just hit my microphone. In the initial setup, I did put all injuries at 20 or 25%. So they're going to be a lot less frequent, and the injuries that we do see are hopefully for less time. Um, a lot of the sliders I kept more or less the same. I lowered contract negotiation difficulty a little bit just because, um, you know, I want to avoid a situation where there's players that are sitting in free agency waiting to be signed. I don't think that that's really good for the series. It's not very realistic. Um, and 2K always goes ham with free agency, and people change teams all the time. And I wanted, it's the 1980s. There's so many people that are one team guys, and I sort of wanted to keep that realistic. I think that's all there is here. Simulation, I didn't touch. Um, if you go to like possession results, you'll see like 3 pointers here. The game itself does a pretty decent job of people in the 80s not attempting like 10, 15 threes a game. Like, we're going to have games where they don't attempt any. There's usually like maybe one shooter on every team that'll chuck up a few, but the game itself does a pretty good job of the shot three likelihood changing throughout history, which I think is just, it's very solid. And I have team automation. Everything's automated. Trades, signings, draft. It's all automated. I don't play a role on any of the teams. I don't have a favorite team that I'm rooting for. Like, I like to see the Nets do well, but that's out of my control ultimately. Again, I sort of want to just let it all play out and see what happens. I do have one thing on. I do have trade approval on. Um, sometimes the 2K trade logic is just flawed, especially between CPU teams. So if I see a trade pop up and it's like, you know, a team trading for a center that already has four centers on their team, or, two 70 overall players for a first round pick, I'm probably going to go ahead and deny it. I don't want to be too heavy handed. Um, but I don't want people out here making stupid decisions. I want every team to be given the best chance to win and to compete and rewrite their own history. That being said, I also do have trade frequency up a little bit. If I'm going to be denying some trades, and there should be more that go through. So yeah, that's going to be sort of the basic walkthrough of the how I'm going to be structuring things. Um, Again, this first season's a bit uninteresting to me because the rosters are all real life rosters, and I sort of want to just get into the sort of the draft aspect of it and the team building aspect. So there might be a few times where I stop simulation and I simcast a game. Usually, if it's going to be between like two top teams or top rookies on a team or whatnot, but maybe not. So if there's some games that I'll show you them now. But if not, I'll see you at the end of the season. Alright guys, so we're halfway through the season, and I sort of wanted to update you on the All-Star teams, what the standings are looking like, and maybe even some potential storylines to look at as we enter the second half of the year, if we go back here. So as you can see, I've been following along with the Lakers, and they're currently sitting at a 33-9 record, um, and a record that is not the top of the league. And I'll show you the Eastern Conference standings in a few, but if you look at the West, it's the Lakers, it's the Nuggets, the Jazz, who we sort of expected those to be the top three in some order. The Portland Trailblazers are 28-17, led by a rookie Clyde Drexler, or I guess led by someone. They're a very well balanced team, and they're fourth in the conference right now. As you see, the Warriors, Suns, Spurs, so currently in line to get one of those big four prospects. We have the Clippers and the Kings. So, 12 and 31, 11 and 31. Like, they're at the bottom of the barrel. As we move over to the Eastern Conference, we have the Boston Celtics at 35 and 8. That's incredible. So, again, we knew the Celtics and Lakers are going to be top in their respective conferences, and it's all played out so far. Detroit Pistons are second, the Bucks are third, which is a bit shocking to me that they're ahead of the 76ers. And I'll show you why I think that's shocking in a few. The Nets are doing well. If you sort of go down here, the Chicago Bulls are in position to draft Michael Jordan. Of course, this happened in real life at the third pick. Maybe they get him at first this time and don't leave it to fate. The Bullets are also down there as well. So that's a look at the standings. We're going to go over now to who the All-Stars were this year. If we go over to All-Star participants in the Eastern Conference, I'll do it this way to sort of maybe keep some suspense going. Isaiah Thomas is the starting point guard of the Eastern Conference this year in the All-Star game. 21 points, 9 assists, almost 2 steals. As you can see, 0 3-pointers. Or maybe he attempted one, but no, he's attempted 2 and hasn't made one. So the tendencies of the 80s are in full swing right here. So yeah, Isaiah Thomas is the point guard in the All-Star game. Sidney Moncrief Look at those defensive numbers. 2 steals and just under a block per game. He's in the prime of his career, man. He's a player for sure. Larry Bird averaging almost 30 points a game, and he has a 50% 3-point rating, 3-point percentage. Excuse me. He's 3 of 6, so just leaps and bounds above everyone else in the league. Moses Malone. This is why I found the Sixers' sort of stature in the Eastern Conference shocking. Moses Malone's putting up 29 and 17 a game, and he's, you know, playing over 36 minutes, so those are a bit inflated. 38.4 if you can see over there in the corner, but he's so good. 2 blocks, a steal, just over a steal. Like, he is probably the best player in the NBA right now, and he can't lead the Sixers past the Bucks in the regular season at least. And then Julius Erving, again, like, they have 2 players averaging over 29 points a game, and they're 4th in the conference. So I don't know, man. Maybe it's that. Maybe it's the defense of the Bucks that's really powered them this year. But I'd expect the 76ers to have a much better second half of the year. The reserves include Otis Birdsong, averaging 23 and 4 a game. Dennis Johnson, bro, look at these stats. 13 points and 4 assists. I guess he's a good defender, but like, these are all-star worthy stats. I don't know if I believe that. Dominique Wilkins should be in line to get the Most Improved Player award this year. He's jumped his scoring by 10 points a game. He's now averaging 27.5 to go along with 7 rebounds. Is he taking threes, or is he only taking like 6? Okay, yeah. This is so funny to me. Jeff Ruland, like, he was a boss back in the day. He's averaging 20 and 15 and 2 blocks. Like, I've seen simulations where he's been like the best center in the league. So interested to see the development with him and the Bullets there. Bernard King, we knew he was going to fill up the stat sheet with scoring. Marcus Johnson, maybe he's the reason the Bucks are doing so well. They got a weight rotation of Sidney Moncrief and Marcus Johnson. He's putting up 23 a game. Reggie Tejas putting up these numbers, leading a 9-win Bulls team. And that's it for the East. If we go over to the West, no shocker here. Magic Johnson, 20 and 13 a game. George Gervin's at 29 a game. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, so the Lakers, just like the 76ers, have 2 all-star starters. Only difference is Lakers are first in their conference. You can sort of see the decline of Kareem Abdul-Jabbar from his peak. Still pretty good. I wonder if he's broken. That's one thing I'll check after this, is like the sort of the single season, the career, well, all the NBA records really. I wonder when he actually breaks the scoring record. Adrian Dantley with the Jazz. I didn't realize at this point he had come off 3 straight 30-point per game seasons. That's pretty impressive. He's down to 26 points a game this year. And then Jack Sikma gets a starting nod. 18 and 14 a game, that'll do it. Alex English, we know he's sort of powering the Nuggets to their success this year, and he's at 26 points per game. Ricky Green, point guard for the Jazz, 17 and 10 and 2.5 steals. It's in line with his career, man. The Jazz team's pretty good. As a rookie, if you had any doubt in your mind as to who the Rookie of the Year likely winner is, look at Ralph Sampson. 22 points, 12 rebounds, a steal, and 2.5 blocks. Man, he's a force. Kiki Vandeweghe as well with the Nuggets. Mark Aguirre up to 27 points per game. Joe Barry Carroll. Rolando Blackman with the Mavs too, so the Mavs should be doing better. I believe they're outside looking into the playoff picture, but I mean, with Mark Aguirre and Rolando Blackman, like, there's some players there. I'm not going to go and look at award races because I don't think that they really change all that much from here on out. I do want to go to NBA records though. Obviously, Wilt's dominating the total points. Kobe Bryant, rest in peace. His 81's not here. 3-pointers made in the game, 8. No Steph Curry in this era. No Scott Skiles to get 30 assists a game. Those are sort of the single game. The playoff ones, I think Elgin Baylor still stands. I might be wrong on that. But yeah, like, so many records will be broken in this series. The season, I don't know if that really updates, but total points, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar might get it this year. Probably not. He's about 800 points off of Wilt Chamberlain all time. Career 3-pointers made, Joe Hassett has 194. That's wild. And no one in the league history has cracked 10,000 assists. Obviously, John Stockton is like 15,000, and no one's gonna catch him for a long, long time. But at this point in time, there's only 11 players with 5,000 assists in their career. So definitely interesting to sort of see how that all plays out. All right, so that's going to be it for the sort of mid-season recap. I'm going to simulate the rest of the year, and I'll come back at you again with the award winners and all NBA teams. So that is a wrap on the 1983-84 NBA season. It was a good one. As we see, Magic Johnson takes home the NBA MVP. He put up 19.5 points a game, 8.1 rebounds, 12.5 assists. I mean, who could have seen that coming? Not me. Go over to Rookie of the Year. It is Ralph Sampson, as we expected. Just under 23 points a game, 11.5 boards. Does he have the Rockets in the playoff spot? Did he elevate this team out of the sweepstakes for Michael Jordan? I guess we'll see. Sixth Man of the Year, Kevin McHale. 17.7 points a game, 9.9 rebounds. Great defensive stats. Yeah, I mean, that's a pretty solid six man if you ask me. DPOY goes to Kareem Abdul-Jabbar with his .7 steals and 2.4 blocks. I don't really know how that compares to the rest of the league, so I guess we'll wait and see. Most improved player goes to LaSalle Thompson. Now, it is his second year, and he improved his scoring by 4 points and doubled his rebounding to 10.2 per game and got some blocks and steals. But I don't know, if it was me, I would have given that to Dominique Wilkins. So, it is what it is. We could change it. We could override. I'm not going to. It just reset me there. Casey Jones, Coach of the Year. Celtics finished with a 66-16 record. Executive of the Year to the Celtics as well. Now on to the All-NBA teams. No surprise. It's Magic Johnson, Isaiah Thomas, Larry Bird, Julius Erving, Moses Malone. That's pretty much chalk for what I expected. Second team, Ricky Green. Again, all these guys were all stars, so we're not really shocked to see anyone here. I believe that there's no third team at this point in time, so we're going to go over to the all defensive teams. Sidney Moncrief finished with just a shade under 2 steals a game. Yeah. Again, all of these guys you sort of believe. Larry Bird, steal and a half and almost a block. Larry Nance, .9 steals, 2.4 blocks. Yeah, these guys are demons. Show some love to some of the more under the radar guys like Paul Pressey. Stealing a block per game at 6'5", that's pretty decent. Michael Ray Richardson. In real life, he was a thief during this time. You know, don't really know if that's well. I mean, to be fair, he's playing a lot less minutes, playing 27 minutes a game. We go to his per 36, it's sort of in line with past seasons. Buck Williams as well. The Nets, now we know the Nets' identity. They're defensive-minded. Buck Williams and Michael Ray Richardson on the all-defensive second team. And then you got Julius Erving. Yeah, I mean, 3 stocks a game. You'll take that. And Tree Rollins had 3 blocks on his own. Maybe he should have won DPOY over Kareem. I guess we'll never know. We're going to see the playoff bracket, but I'm going to look at it in the view of the standings. Obviously, we know that the Lakers and Celtics are top in each division. They actually had the exact same record at 66-16. So, pretty solid. We see the Utah Jazz with the 2 seed and the Portland Trail Blazers at the 3 seed. I believe that at this point in time, there's not 6 conferences in the NBA. Again, there's only 23 teams. So what I think happens is there's 2 divisions per conference, and the winner of each conference is the winner of each division is the 1 or 2 seed. So the Jazz must just be in a different division than the Lakers and Trailblazers in order for this to happen. Trailblazers are the 3rd seed. Was not expecting that, given who they have in the team. Clyde Drexler. There's no rookie teams, I didn't think. Or maybe I skipped past it. I may have skipped past the rookie teams. Okay, there are rookie teams. I could go back and check those. Yeah, the Trailblazers, man, they're pretty impressive. Denver put up 50 wins as well. Then there's sort of this around 500 group of teams here. Ralph Sampson cannot power the Rockets to the playoffs, so they're going to be picking, I believe, top 7 for sure. They have great chance to come away with a bona fide talent to pair with Ralph Sampson. The Supersonics, I thought they were going to do better, but is someone hurt over here? Or is that just their team? I can't actually tell. The Kings and Clippers sort of round out the bottom of the conference. No real shockers there, I would say. On to the East. The East is very good as well. Again, we sort of saw Celtics and Pistons going 1-2 in this division. The Bucks are the third team, followed by the 76ers. I thought this team was going to be so much better. You know, they have defenders in Mo Cheeks and Bobby Jones. Bobby Jones put up over 3 stocks a game. Dr. J and Moses Malone, like, I don't know, man. Maybe they're not as good on paper as they are as a team. The Nets did pretty well. This is going to be a defensive matchup in this first round, Nets and 76ers. The Knicks sneak into the playoffs, man. It's really just Bernard King. He put up 28 a game. Yeah, I believe it. Hawks make the playoffs. And the Pacers with a 31-51 record make it to the playoffs. They're 35 games behind the number one seed Celtics. That's crazy. The Cavaliers miss out in the playoffs, as do the Bullets and the Bulls. So, if you see here, the Bulls are the worst team in the league, and then it's the Clippers or Bullets. So, I don't know who has the tiebreaker here, but one thing is for certain, the Chicago Bulls will end up with the first or second pick in this draft with a chance to go and get Michael Jeffrey Jordan. That's crazy. If we go to league history, regular season awards, all teams select. Perfect. I think this is a new introduction this year. Good job, 2K. You can easily see this, not like a list. All rookie teams, yeah, we know Ralph Sampson's number one. We could assume Clyde Drexler's number two. Ennis Watley with the Bulls. I mean, point guard putting up 7.5 assists and a steal and a half a game. Like, can't complain with that. Thurl Bailey with the Jazz. John Sundvold is the starting point guard with the Seattle Supersonics. Those are decent numbers. And did he shoot threes? I mean, obviously he did, but like more than 8? No. Okay. Well, very efficient shooter. If he's sticking around the league to when everyone's shooting threes, he's going to be a great player. Darryl Walker with the Knicks, Steve Stepanovic with the Pacers, Rodney McRae, Doc Rivers, and Dale Ellis round out the all-rookie teams. So we see that. We're going to not really do anything with the playoffs here. Again, I kind of just want to get to the off-season and look at player progression and the draft. So yeah, we're gonna simulate the playoffs, go round by round. Maybe if there's a game worth jumping into in the finals, especially if it's Lakers Celtics, we'll try and get that on screen. But if not, um, yeah, I mean, let's go round by round or game by game, I should say. Remember, at this point in time, the first round is best of 5. So anyone with the 2-0 lead, they're one game away from making it to the next round. Nothing too shocking. The Celtics need to pull out a win against the Pacers. The Suns have been eliminated by the Where are the Suns? There we go. They got eliminated by the Portland Trail Blazers. The Hawks got knocked out by the Pistons. The Spurs get knocked out by the Jazz, and the Mavs get eliminated as well. Something scary is happening in the top right-hand side of this, and I don't know if you can see, but the Boston Celtics are down 2-1 to the Indiana Pacers. I don't know, man. I just don't know. We're going to simcast that, actually. Sixers are gone. The Nets, from the 5 seed, upset the 76ers. 76ers, I mean, we'll see what happens with the Celtics here, but the 76ers are the most disappointing team this year for me. I thought that they had a chance to make a run in the playoffs and do well, and they get bounced in the first round. The Nuggets are eliminated by the Warriors. Let's see if the Boston Celtics can stage a comeback here in the series. It doesn't look like it. Pacers are at home. It's getting down to the wire, and the Indiana Pacers have upset the one-seeded, they made it close at the end, the one-seeded Boston Celtics. Jerry Sichting. Wow. Herb Williams turned it up in the playoffs, 23-7. Jeez. Clark Kellogg wasn't even having a good series. Like, this Pacers team, Wow. So we're not going to see Magic and Bird match up in the finals. It's the Magic and Bird era, man. I'm a little disappointed. I can't lie. I mean, I'm happy that underdogs are winning here, but man, I really wanted to start jumping in one of those games. Bucks Knicks. I don't really care about that one. It is the Bucks that go through. Okay, so I mean, pretty chalky. Like you can split hairs between Nuggets and Warriors. I thought the Sixers could pull it out here, and obviously this is. I mean, one of the Nets or Pacers is gonna make the conference finals. That's crazy. Um, let's go 2 games into it and see what happens. Yeah, I mean that's a pretty solid series, but nothing too shocking here. Whoa, whoa, whoa! I mean, Clyde Drexler's like that, man. Like, let's take a look at their last game. He had 26 points. Yeah, I mean, can't be all that shocked. Pistons Bucks is the only contentious series still. The Jazz get one back. Wow, the Nets 4-0'd the Pacers. I mean, it's not shocking. I thought the Pacers would put up a bit of a fight. 3-1s on the bottom of each bracket. The Blazers were up in this series 3-2, and they need to get this win at home. Otherwise, Game 7 in Utah, and oh, they're gonna do it. Oh, they're gonna do it. Are they? Are they gonna do it? They're gonna do it. They're gonna do it. Hey, Jazz kept it close, but I mean, John Drew got injured. That shouldn't have done much. Clyde Drexler. Is it Jim Paxson? Is he the one that's really kicking it into gear over here? I'm not quite sure. But our conference final matchups are set. In the Western Conference, we have the Lakers and the Trailblazers. And in the East, we have the Pistons and Nets. We should see a Lakers-Pistons finals here. That would be the next best thing other than... let's actually just do this. Other than Lakers-Celtics. Lakers lose game 1. Oh, are we going to see a beginning to this simulation where the Lakers, or neither the Lakers or the Celtics, make the finals? Over here, Pistons are going to sweep, but the Portland Trailblazers up 2-1. 2-2 series now. Pistons are in the finals. Not shocking there. Man, the Celtics should have made it. Alright, 2-2. We're going to simulate the Lakers take it. We're going to a Game 7. I was not expecting that. Let's simcast it. Let's simcast. Let's see if the Blazers. Oh my. Oh my. The Blazers beat the pants off them. Ooh. They beat them by 24. The Lakers are gone. Jim Paxson, I believe he's coming off the bench for Clyde Drexler too. I can't believe that. Man, we sort of took this team for granted. I thought they had a chance to be in the lottery, and instead they're out here in the NBA Finals. So, in the Magic and Bird era, neither player makes it to the NBA Finals. Oh, we're in for a good simulation here. Look at these teams. These are not Finals teams. I would have to go with the Pistons here, man. Like, I think Isaiah Thomas alone, like, should be enough to carry the Pistons here. Game 1. What is going on? Like, what is this? What is with this team? Is it their defense? I don't even know. Alright, game 2. It's unbelievable. Is he coming off the... Is he coming off the bench? He's coming off the bench and putting up... I can't even navigate. He's putting 22 points a game in this playoff run, coming off the bench. Clyde Drexler's starting over, and Drexler's putting up duds now. Oh, I guess this is just the game. But, like, what are we watching here? Alright, the Pistons get one back. I believe that the Pistons are at home. I mean, like, the Blazers had 58 wins in the regular season, so it's not shocking. I just don't see it on paper with this team. Maybe it's the coaching. I don't know. Pistons, home team has won every game this series. This game went to overtime. Game 5. Pistons take it on the road. Kelly Tripucka. Yeah, I mean, I thought the Pistons were going to win, and they do. Isaiah Thomas, Finals MVP. putting up 24.5 points a game, 4 rebounds, 10 assists, 2.5 steals. Wow. So the Magic Bird era, neither one of them are in the finals. Retirements, not real players. Staff retirements, don't care. Jersey retirements, James Silas, or James Silas, I should say. Calvin Murphy both get their numbers retired. Historic changes. Clear path fouls now in the game, and we're going to have the Los Angeles Clippers next year instead of the San Diego Clippers. And by far my favorite part about this is watching the branding evolve over time. Um, if I don't like a branding change, I will veto it. And I will probably veto it to a point in time in the late 2000s, early 2010s, because I think that was the peak of a lot of sports logos in general, but specifically NBA. I'm going to let those go as well. League meetings, that's just the extension of the rules. Draft lottery. Now, oh, the Clippers don't have their own first round pick. So the number one overall pick in this draft is either going to go to the Bulls or the 76ers to join Julius Erving and Moses Malone. I was not expecting that. It is a literal coin flip. The winner of the second pick is the Chicago Bulls. The 76ers are the number one overall pick this year? I am stunned. Wow. Wow. So, 76ers, Bulls, Bullets pick third, Kings, Mavs. Wow. Yeah, I was just saying about the Mavericks. They have a lot of picks of other teams that aren't really great in this era, so they're going to be picking a lot. But, I mean, look, silver lining for the Clippers is that they have the Supersonics pick, and they're picking 6th and 13th with the Warriors pick. So, like, it's fine. But the 76ers off of the Nuggets pick, so the 76ers have 3 first rounders, the Clippers have 2 first rounders, Mavs have 2 first rounders. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. All right, man. Let's get into the draft. Let's get into the draft. I'm excited now. We're gonna autoplay it. We're just gonna sort of, yep, Michael Jordan to the 76ers. Akeem Olajuwon to the Bulls. We'll take that. Let me bring my mic closer here. The Bullets, they get Charles Barkley. Wow. That's crazy. The Kings get John Stockton. All right. We have our first trade. There was no trades in the regular season. Oh, ooh. Mavericks receive Kenny Carr and Michael Thompson. Trailblazers receive this pick, an 85 second rounder. I don't know how crucial of a role Kenny Carr or Michael Thompson played in getting the Blazers to the finals. But I also see that they're picking 8th. If they're able to add 2 quality players alongside Clyde Drexler, and the Mavericks also have an abundance of picks, so like they won't really be missing this player. Again, the big 4 draft picks just went. I'm gonna accept it, man. I'm gonna accept it. I mean, yeah, both are just around 80 overall. The Portland Trailblazers select Bob Thornton. Don't know. I know he's a real player because he's in this draft class, but I don't really know much about him. I can't lie. Sam Perkins would have been a good pick, but that's fine. No idea who that is. Blazers. Hold on. So the Blazers made the NBA Finals and then traded 2 of their players and ended up getting Bob Thornton and Sam Bowie. So Clyde Drexler and Sam Bowie is going to be a dynamic duo to watch out for in this series.
That's fun. That's fun. They're coming off a finals appearance too, man. I can't believe it. Ooh, another pick. The Clippers receive this pick, number 9, in exchange for Norm Nixon and James Donaldson. Did the Clippers already draft? I don't remember. No, they haven't drafted yet. I'm not. I'm gonna. This is what I'm actually gonna decline, and I'll tell you why. The Hawks don't need Norm Nixon. They have Doc Rivers a point. So this is a situation where I'm gonna veto it, and the Hawks go Otis Thorpe. I think that makes the most sense for the progression of the series. You don't need two players like Norm Nixon and Doc Rivers battling out for minutes. No, you want both of them to start in different places. I think we can just sort of zoom past this. Jerome Kersey. Okay, Jerome Kersey of the Spurs. Alvin Robertson. See, like that's like they had another pick and they got a guard. So who did they trade for? No, they traded. Did they trade the Hawks? I'm losing track of it. We just gotta get out of this. Anybody else? A trade? Hold on. I must have accepted this by accident because that's the Trailblazers again. I was just spamming X. I didn't realize there would be another trade coming. So the Nets trade this pick and a pick from 1988. Who's in that draft class? That might be a bad draft class. Anyway, they trade two first round picks for Calvin Nat. So the Trailblazers made the NBA Finals kind of miraculously, I would say, behind Clyde Drexler, and then proceed to trade three of their highest overall players for picks from this draft class. And they get, I mean, Tony Campbell's a decent player, so let me go a little slower so I don't just skip a trade. Jay Humphries and Kevin Willis and Michael Jordan all join the 76ers. So you're looking at a team that has Mo Cheeks, Julius Erving, Moses Malone, and then you have Bobby Jones, Michael Jordan, Jay Humphries, Kevin Willis. Like, that is a squad, man. Wow. Michael Cage is good as well. We'll go to the end of the first, see if anything. I don't think there's anyone. Terrence Stansbury. I've seen enough, man. Wow. Michael Jordan enters the league as a 81 overall, and I believe he already has 25 intangibles, so that's not going down. Akeem on the Bulls is fun. I don't think they had anyone blocking him. Charles Barkley on the Bullets. Charles Barkley and Jeff Rulin has a chance to be the best front court in the league starting next year, so. And the Kings got John Stockton, bro. 68 overall went in the first round. So the Trailblazers have Bob Thornton, Sam Bowie, Tony Campbell, and Clyde Drexler. Okay. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Okay. So let me put my mic back down. Last thing, we're gonna go to free agency. We're not gonna actually. We're gonna do player progression and try and stop this. But take a look at some signings. I tried to stop it at day 12. Um, I don't know who's in free agency this year, so we're sort of gonna see. So Bill Cartwright resigns. Fred Brown, Joe Henderson. No news there. We shouldn't see a lot of player movement in this first year. Um, there's two Paxtons in the league. So the Trailblazers also let go of Jim Paxson. What is going on? I mean, this makes sense for him though. Like this is one that canonically makes sense because he was coming off the bench for Clyde Drexler. Obviously, Clyde Drexler was the future of the organization, and Jim Paxson had a great playoff run. So yeah, I mean, it makes sense he's moving on. Um, Warriors then had to let go of Joe Barry Carroll, as evidenced by their 68 overall center that looks like John C. Riley. Jesus. Um, he goes to the Jazz. ahead of Mark Eaton, who's middle of his career. This seems pretty good, to be fair. Bob Lanier leaves the Bucks to sign with the Nuggets. Move Easel. Like, this is oh god, they have no point guard. Maybe someone's injured? No. Okay. They need a point guard. Was TR Dunn their point guard? TR Dunn was probably their point guard, yeah. So as you see, like a lot of the player movement, it's like lose a player, gain a player. Um, Swen Nader to the Spurs, was he always there? No, he was with the Lakers last year. Yeah, I don't think anything too crazy happened elsewhere. No. Mike Dunleavy Sr., I think he was already there. No, he was in Milwaukee. Okay. So yeah, like a few smaller moves here, nothing league breaking. And there might, again, the important caveat to know is that there still might be some players who are in free agency that just didn't sign an actual contract, and that's something that isn't really within our control. So hopefully that's not the case. This is going to be the last. Well, yeah, it'll be the last. Now we will look at see if anyone else is in free agency, but this is going to be the last main part of the video, and it's player progression. So we're going to see the makeup of these rosters now that free agency's ended, the draft's ended, and progression is hit. This is not shocking. This should not be shocking. Moses Malone, Mo Cheeks both down 2 overall. Bobby Jones down 4 overall. Dr. J down 6 overall. Michael Jordan slots into the 2 guard. Jay Humphries um, is going to be backup point guard. And Kevin Willis is going to back up Bobby Jones. That's such a good team. Um, that's such a good team. And one thing I'll do in the off seasons, I'm probably not going to show it on camera, but um, if they're like, I'll try and change some players' positions so the right people are starting. I'll see if there's a good example of that comes up, um, but we'll see. Um, Milwaukee Bucks. I didn't even realize they had Nate Archibald. He's declining. Again, not very shocking. Um, I think they didn't really make any. Oh, they lost Bob Lanier, and they drafted Tim McCormick, I believe. Yeah, they drafted him. So rookie center here in Milwaukee. Jeff Ruland, he might just have a very short peak. He went down 2 overall. Charles Barkley, Rick Mahorn. They don't really have a point guard either. I feel like there's people in free agency that I'm going to have to deal with, which is annoying. Ennis Watley, Reggie Tejas, Akeem Olajuwon. Akeem's gonna cook this year. He's gonna have some incredible numbers, and they still might be a lottery team next year as well. So we'll see. World Be Free went down by 2. Yeah, nothing too crazy. Oh, I was gonna say like maybe it's because I had yeah okay. The big regression hits that we're seeing is because I lowered the intangibles of all the players to 25. So like that knocked Larry Bird. Okay, yeah, these people aren't actually getting worse. I just look because like if you look at Robert Parrish, like there's no reason at 30 years old he should be going down by 4 overall, especially when he improved in like 2 things. Yeah, okay, it's fully just the intangible effect. So for the most part, ignore the negative ratings and just look at the positive ones. Like Terry Cummings, obviously, given those stats, he probably went up way more than just 2 overall if you look at just his attributes. I was getting scared there for a second. They got like a curse simulation or something like that. I mean, yeah, like he should not be going down 3 overall for the year. He had 4.3 blocks. Jeez. Dominic Wilkins ran a 3. We actually had some injuries, some smaller ones, but like, yeah, okay, that's just fully the intangibles fault. You could pretty much ignore that. Like, yeah, some of the older players will go down, but like this is a perfect example. Like LaSalle Thompson, he won Most Improved Player of the Year, so we know he's got to improve. He increased in 3 separate attribute categories, and his overall went down by 1. That's why we got rid of intangibles. Um, Again, this is really only going to look like this in the first year of the simulation because every subsequent draft class will come in with 25 intangibles for everyone. He's someone that's fallen off. like actually, and not just the intangibles. He is getting old. He is 37. We'll see if he actually broke the scoring record all time. Um, Dale Ellis, he had a good year. He had a good rookie year, and he went up by 4, as did Derek Harper, even with the hit to intangibles. His net seems solid. Yeah, yeah. Clark Kellogg went up in 4 things, and his overall didn't go up, so that's just the intangible effect. Isaiah Thomas went up still. Craig Elo went up. Yeah, like Ralph Sampson going up in overall. Sorry, going up in all of those things, but not overall. Artis Gilmore probably did fall off a bit, as did George Gervin, but not too much. The Sun seems is getting old. Sonic seems getting a bit old. The new look Portland Trailblazers. I mean, Fat Lever is very good, as is Clyde Drexler. Sam Bowie, like they're gonna be starting 3 rookies next year by the looks of it. Fat Lever, Clyde Drexler, and then you have Tony Campbell rookie, Bob Thornton rookie, Sam Bowie rookie, and then Drexler in his 2nd year, Fat Lever in his 3rd year. So like that is so fun to follow their progression, and then the Warriors don't have any center. So this might be a situation where I look and I see, okay, like Larry Smith is A plus rebounding. His post defense is a B minus. He's 6'8". He will probably I'll probably shift his position to center if they don't sign anyone. Maybe they start this rookie. I don't know, but like that's what I'm talking about here. We're gonna go on to the regular season. For now, I'm just gonna put in the normal 2K draft class. I will upload trillydagoats later. Last thing is we're gonna take a look at league history, NBA records. He's 8 points away. Maybe we'll simcast. Maybe in the next episode when we start the 1985 season, start the 1984-85 season. Maybe we'll simcast the Lakers' first game and see him actually break the record. I doubt they have a animation for it in game or like a sort of cutscene or anything like that. It would be cool if they did, but I'm not expecting 2K to come through with that. Um, let's take a look at free agency real quick because I have a sneaking suspicion there's still some players sitting around. There's not really. Interesting. Okay. Yeah, like there's some players, but like 72 overalls. Did anybody get picked up? Yeah, like they fill the rosters at the end of the year, as you see here. So like, yeah, yeah. Okay. So I'm pretty happy with that. Well, thank everyone for watching. This is my first video on the channel, so please like, maybe you subscribe if you want. Like, I don't know, just it's cool to make these videos because this is something that I would be doing anyway. So to sort of broadcast it and share it with people, like that's what it's all about. So thank you so much for the support, and I'll come back at you with an episode soon. Take it easy.